hope you let me in, yeah.
To do.
Alright, I'm gonna start recording, but that's
like,
great.
For all the shit that Ghost got, I actually kind of liked it.
It wasn't a bad game. Don't get me wrong. I feel like the time to kill was a little too fast, kind of like how Modern Warfare is now.
Okay, a rebound.
But
that's on me.
But it just. I don't know. The snipers in that game didn't feel really that great. Just like Advanced Warfare.
The map size.
And the map, yeah, that's when the map
Yeah.
size got out of hand.
Well, see,
like Advanced Warfare,
they tried to push it.
Yeah, no, like Advanced Warfare though had bigger maps, but the whole thing was the faster movement speed and shit. Let that shit work.
Yeah.
And now that they sit there and they take out those movement speeds and everything, they're trying to make maps the same size as those jetpack maps that we had, and where the games were a lot faster paced, but the whole thing is, those maps can't work anymore because we're a lot slower.
Like, the movement speed was, like, super decreased. Like, it felt, we felt slower in it compared to every other COD.
I think Call of Duty sometimes tries to be too much like Battlefield. Battlefield tries too much to be like Call of Duty.
Yeah, it's like two games trying to be each other, but they're not going to because they have their own
never gonna
kind of
be.
style.
Yeah, like this Call of Duty, especially even the next one to an extent. You're sitting there. Ooh, that's rough. You're sitting there, and they had a ground war in this, but you see how like ground war just failed in this game. It felt like because they stopped updating it. Like, in my opinion,
there was not enough maps. They needed more maps.
Oh, yeah. It was definitely fun, but the whole thing was, what made it pretty iffy was the whole thing is, they were already in Warzone, that the new maps they added, so everybody's already been there. Everybody already knows how the map works, and it's not new to the game. It's literally reusing content. I understand, yes, it's free, and yes, it's adding content to that game mode, but it's not that great. And it doesn't work. But Battlefield 4, again, was one of the best freaking games ever, because the gunplay and the customization you had in that was crazy, because it was like Modern Warfare customization. You could make the gun yourself. You could make it how you wanted it. And it was wonderful. The
it felt so close to being real, because like you had that realism of, okay, I can put this on my gun, but you don't have like the restrictions of,
and you're not limited, and there's no perks and shit that gives you magical abilities and everything. Battlefield 4, and there's no perks that give you magical abilities to survive grenades more, or everybody's thrown in bare bones and is like, here's your gun, good luck, run to a vehicle or spawn in a vehicle, etc., etc. That's gonna be your dealio for vehicles.
Yeah.
And that worked in that game. Oh, I'm gonna fucking hit the ball there, thank you. But it seems like they could have done so much more in Battlefield 5 and Battlefield 1, because obviously they were limited during, fuck, I don't think I'm fine enough. They were limited during the time period, obviously, so you're gonna sit there and you're not gonna have the same attachments and shit like you're gonna have in previous worlds, which is one reason why I was like, on Battlefield 1, but the gunplay didn't feel, it's fine. The gunplay didn't feel as fluid as Battlefield 4. But the whole thing is, the vehicle gameplay. I loved how the tanks worked, how like if you hit the tracks and shit, the tracks would be damaged. Same thing with the planes and all of this shit. Like, the flying in Battlefield 1 and the flying in Battlefield 5 actually, in my opinion, have a little bit of skill to them. It's not all just, I guess, flying in circles and hoping whoever gets on his ass and makes a mistake with braking first.
Yeah.
What the
fucking wins. Like, this game in well, not this game, but Battlefield 5 and Battlefield 1 had that little bit of skill to them, and it worked. And I've said this once, I'll say it again, but Battlefield made a game that had Battlefield 4 customization and gunplay, and the vehicle combat of Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 5, it would be one of the best first-person shooters to ever exist. And of course, make it a modern game, of course, for fucking customization reasons and being able to have the amount of vehicles that like Battlefield 4 and Battlefield 1 had, Battlefield 1 and all them shit. Like you have your Huey, your Apache, your different types of assault helicopters, and all this shit you can choose from, and have the same like options. Like you get 3 helicopters, and they can choose which helicopter they want to spawn in. They want to be an Apache, a Little Bird, a transport helicopter. I thought the same effect. The Little Bird and all that stuff. Like that would just work that way. And then obviously add like some heavy bombers, like a stealth bomber, like a B-52 or some crazy shit like that. And I feel like that would work very well in that game. I don't have any boosts, and I apparently lost my momentum on that front foot. But I feel like that would just work so well. And of course, in my opinion, one thing Battlefield always did was destruction. They did destruction very well. And the whole thing is, in Battlefield 4... Okay, I really thought that was on the wall on my screen. In Battlefield 4, they did it... They try to have, like, one big thing per map get destroyed.
Yeah.
Instead of having a lot of small buildings get destroyed, like Battlefield Bad Company 2. But in my opinion, if they could somehow, like, orient it somehow to basically make almost everything get destroyed, it'd be crazy. Like, I don't know how powerful these next consoles are going to be, these next-gen consoles, and how the next Battlefield is going to operate and all that stuff. But if they have, like, the Levolution of, like, Battlefield 4 mixed with a good mixture of, like, your Battlefield Bad Company 2 destruction, like your smaller buildings and shit like that, it would be amazing. I would love... I miss being able to level an entire map with my friends as a support class with C4 and do that.
Yeah, exactly.
The whole thing about freaking Battlefield 5 and Battlefield 1 is most of the maps are just open fields. Open fields are like trenches, and there's very little destruction in these maps. And it just doesn't work right.
Battlefield 1, because like, they went back to like trench warfare, which I think they did very well. But again, they took away kind of the Battlefield aspect of the game.
Yeah, exactly.
If
they may have put another title name on it, like kind of like a Verdun type of game almost.
Yeah.
It would have. I feel like it would have worked maybe a little bit more or something, and they could have diverted it a little bit more and actually done a little more realistic type of game. But. Oh no, good thing that thing hit my water, because it actually made me say in that.
I like Battlefield 1 gunplay more than Battlefield 5.
Oh, yeah, 100%, because it's a little more Battlefield 4-esque, but Battlefield 4 by far is my favorite gunplay game. Oh, in that game, you never ran into people like running the same gun as you, bro. Like, literally, the diversity in guns was absolutely amazing. Every gun was like, it was like Black Ops 2. Every gun was overpowered in its own right.
So,
that's the whole freaking thing. Is when every gun is overpowered in its own right and super weak in other areas, that works. Like, that's an issue with Modern Warfare, Black Ops Cold War, and all these other games, are there is 1 or 2 guns that does every job perfectly. Like, when Modern Warfare first came out, we had the MP5 with 10 mil rounds that added the range to give it that range to make it hit hard at far away and medium range, but also still have the fire rate to destroy people up close. Just like the M4 is. The M4 had that fire rate and had that little recoil, and you add like that M16 barrel on it, And boom, you can lace people from literally anywhere, and the time to kill is so fast in it. As long as you get a headshot, you can like 3-shot easily with that gun from across the fucking map.
You also had the 9mm available rounds for it. Like you can make basically an SMG out of it, but still keep that AR range.
Exactly.
Hey,
Which
wait,
is like-
wait. Dyer.
I don't know. I think Dyer fell asleep with the mic. I don't know.
You want to throw anything into this? Because you're just sitting there.
To be honest, I was just scrolling through memes, not really paying attention.
All right. Well, let's
Okay.
continue our conversation. But
Yeah,
Black Ops 2 though, literally had every gun work very well in a certain spot. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. Like the
freaking Black
MSMC
Ops
was your
2
close range and your mid range.
yeah, exactly. And then the Scorpion Evo was basically
Fucking-
all close range, but like once you got long range, you weren't really gonna do really anything with it. Your ARs were amazing. Nice shot. Because your A94 could hit medium range very well, and if you get a headshot, it could nail long range, but the fire rate made it kind of lacking
But
because up close. And
The
that's
FAL?
that was the thing. Great
doesn't count.
mid-range, great long range, but it's also an FAL in general that is overpowered as hell in this freaking Modern Warfare game right now. So we're
What other guns were there?
the M8 A2 was a great 2-burst or 1-burst gun, medium fucking range.
Yeah.
But the whole
was
thing
that?
was when you got up close, it was pretty dog shit. 'Cause A, it was a burst. Then you had the SWAT 5.56, which was basically a little bit faster version of that M852.
That gun was never used, let's be honest here.
Yeah.
It wasn't that bad, honestly. The couple times I used
really
it, but
mean,
definitely
it was
there
just
better guns.
Yeah. See, everything
Yeah.
had a place, but everything could be outclassed by something in its class.
Yeah, it had its niche. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Shotguns in that game, they were powerful up close, but if you shot some dude's toes, he wouldn't die in one shot like in this game. Like, you hit that on my screen, or someone did.
Yeah, you did it on that too.
But literally, if I shoot some dude in the freaking toe, like that's one thing that pisses me off about shotguns and just Call of Duty and especially Modern Warfare, because if I shoot a guy in the toe with a shotgun or shoot a guy in the legs with a shotgun, the dude's gonna die, right?
Yeah.
And everybody's like, oh, well, shotguns are balanced because that only happens up close. And it's like, but I literally only have to pull my right trigger and just have you kind of center screen, not even like really truly center screen because of how widespread it can actually be in some cases.
Like, see,
And-
I'm gonna go to shotguns in Black Ops 3.
I didn't
like,
play Black Ops 3 enough to know.
Yeah. Well, basically, they kind of followed the same pattern, but like they added like with the amount of attachments you can have, and like added that customability that you could change its class pretty much. Like how you're able to do with the 7.25 at the beginning of this game, you can basically turn it into a sniper. You're able to turn a fucking pump action shotgun into a fucking sniper.
But yeah, like all of those freaking things are just oh my god, are just fucking stupid because like the argument that I see a lot of like unskilled players really have to say in this is basically snipers are overpowered because they're a one-shot kill.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, if I shoot a guy in a toe with a sniper rifle, I'm gonna get a hit mark. And I'm gonna have to usually bolt my sniper to actually get another shot off.
Yeah.
And
Me personally, I think
actually
snipers
do
in
this.
Cold War are so good because there is no flinch. And you can't flinch a sniper off you anymore. That's why I don't think the problem is the scope, spice, speed, and all that.
No, the whole thing about flinch is flinch with snipers worked one of two ways. It was either they would aim at your head and you would flinch them off of you, or you would aim them, or they would be aiming at your upper chest and then they would hit you in your head. That's just how snipers work. This kid's literally just hitting me. Now you are.
I just think those watts, they're so good right now. If they had a little bit of flinch, I mean, cool. We've dealt with flinch our whole time playing Call of Duty. Just add it back.
Yeah, I feel like flinch wasn't really a huge issue. I mean, if it was a little more consistent, maybe, then yeah, because, like, there's times in Modern Warfare, and I usually run focus on my sniper rifles. I got hit out of the way.
Yeah, I was rotating out.
But I usually... How many points do you have? Oh.
Like Modern Warfare, you don't see an issue with them because they aim so slow. And
when you're sniping, dude, fucking cool. And how fast you die doesn't really matter. But I've noticed when, like, editing my videos and everything, like, there's moments where I've literally been aiming, like, stomach level that I would totally get a fucking hit marker on. And, okay, I would totally get a hit marker on, and the dude hit markers me and then fucking shoots me straight up to his freaking head. Or shoots me straight up to his upper chest and I get a one shot, etc., etc. But the whole thing is, I'm down, I don't care. But the whole thing is, we sit there, we leave now, or is it gonna, I don't know.
I know, it fucking breaks it if you leave half the time, so I stay in. That's why I've just been staying in.
But another whole thing about it is, I sit there and I don't run focus on my MK2. I run sleight of hand. Because the reload is dog shit on it. But it's so inconsistent because there was a time I was aiming at this dude's upper chest and the dude hit me once and with I think it was an M4 or something. It was definitely an AR, but it bounced me up to his head and I headshot him. There was another dude using another AR. I think it was the same AR because everybody uses the same ARs in Modern Warfare anyway, so probably definitely was. But he hit me once, and my sights were just in about the freaking same area as the previous clip. But he hit me once, and my sight literally went like 2 feet above his head. And I'm like, what is this you got it, right? I'm like, what are these inconsistencies? I'm like, come on now, like, don't act like this shit's so stupid. Like, if the flinch was consistent, yes, it would make it easier to react to, but at the same time, make the flinch different for every gun. Kind of like how they're doing penetration in Cold War. It's going to be based off the class of the gun now. It's not going to be based off of your FMJ or not. Because there's going to be no FMJ in the game. It's literally just going to be your freaking caliber of gun. If you have an AR, you're going to be able to penetrate this surface. If you have a freaking SMG or an MP5, you're going to penetrate plywood or something, but it's going to be tougher and you're going to do a little less damage.
Yeah.
And
I love
snipers,
the TTK,
of course, are going to probably have the best
highest penetration,
but LMGs are actually going to outdo the ARs because they're just a little bit, I guess, heavier and stuff like that. I'm guessing now they're going off of it, even though they usually shoot the same caliber bullet anyway, but I mean...
you can put more velocity behind it with an LMG.
You put more velocity behind it, yeah, because longer barrels and shit. And they're not trying to sit there and shoot it off of, like, your longer barrel adds more penetration or anything like that, because I feel like that would be hard to code, and they would be having a really hard time with that, I feel like. Especially Call of Duty developers. Like, let's be real.
It's like Tarkov. I think there's an issue with Tarkov because of all the bullets.
Penetration in this game, like in Modern Warfare, it's so inconsistent. Like, and how little damage it does. You know what I'm saying? Because there are literal moments I don't even have FMJ on my gun, but I'll be using an AR, and I will literally get 7 to 8 hit markers through a piece of plywood using 5.56, and it's like, And I'm like, are you freaking serious? Like that is absolutely crazy. But like, if that dude's not behind that cover, I get literally half of those hit markers.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's kind of freaking stupid. It's pretty stupid in my opinion.
Noah the COD developer.
Yeah, right? I mean, I'm getting a freaking degree in game art and development, so...
I just don't know why they don't can take everything from one game, or from a game, Call of Duty game, and whatever is liked, put it into the damn game. It ain't that hard. You see map design, people like certain map designs? Alright, take those map designs and look at them, and then build off of those. Obviously don't make them the same map, but guns feel good,
the thing.
go with that.
People, we're in the age of unoriginality, basically. We're making remakes of remakes at this fucking point.
Like Remnant from Ashes is
Let's
just like
be
Dark
real.
Souls, but with guns.
It's just dark. Yeah, exactly. Everybody's trying to copy off each other. Everybody's trying to be what's cool. Nobody's trying to be original. Like, the only real original games that are really coming out right now is Fall Guys and Among Us. I mean, Among Us, obviously,
The thing is, how many Fall
taking-
Guys mini game
Take from
modes
Mafia.
are taken from other games?
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
because you're going to sit there and you're going to, of course, have, like, your MXC. It's going to be inspired from some type of shit. But we've
Yeah.
never truly had a Battle Royale game like that before. That's the thing about it.
I think Fortnite was the first game that it was original. Like,
Yeah, it had
It's really
actual
original.
originality to it.
Because, I mean, it was, of course, taking
The thing
aspects
is,
from PUBG with the Battle Royale mode and
I was
everything
gonna
like
say,
that. Because, I mean, Battle Royale's been
Battle
around
Royale
since, like,
came
Arma
out
2
a year
and
after
Arma
Save the
1
World came out.
and everything like that. But, I mean, like we even
Yeah.
mentioned earlier, freaking Minecraft did it first with Hunger Games.
Yeah.
Like, don't add anybody.
Minecraft is the OG of the OGs. Let's be honest here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll say
Minecraft did everything
One of the games
before...
TNT run.
Yeah, like,
for Fall
it did
Guys.
everything. We
Yeah.
had TNT Run, we had freaking goddamn
Well, even
death
Gar-
runs,
Gary's
we
mods
had
did that,
parkour
yeah.
modes. Yeah, we had all that stuff with Gary's mod. You can make your own stuff. And then nowadays, we're just making that
Fucking
legit.
Which,
Right,
I mean,
right now, we're just making that a legit freaking game, and we're just making it a quote-unquote indie game, or even at this point, sometimes even a AAA game at this point.
which, I mean, there's so many games that you're never going to have a game anymore that doesn't feel 100% original.
Yeah.
Let's
You're-
say, even if
everything's
it's
going to be taking aspects
a
from
game
so-
that's not been done before, you could look at it from a movie, you could look at it from a book,
Yeah.
something that's happened in real life.
Yeah, everything takes inspiration from something in the real world, or just in general something that's happened before. And you're never gonna get true originality out of anything anymore. But as I really was trying to say, is everything's doing remakes though. Like, everything's literally just making updated graphics of literally the same exact game.
Kind of like Madden.
Call of Duty.
Yeah, Madden is
I
a
think Madden's worse.
freaking
Yeah,
great
Madden
thing.
really is.
Sport games in general are pretty damn bad, but people buy them every single year. They buy packs, and nobody complains about microtransactions in the sports games. Like, literally, those guys are committed to spending hundreds of dollars, sometimes even thousands of dollars,
To buy a
on
new
these
game
games to just literally buy next game the next year and just
Looks the
ditch
same.
everything that literally just happened. Like, there
Plays
might
the
be
same.
a little more extra frames per second, and there'll be like updated rosters and stuff. But
Which are
I mean,
still
that's
updated in the last
really
game. That's what I
all
don't
you're
get.
gonna get. Yeah. I mean, literally, they update the rosters almost weekly on Madden as it is anyway. Like, if somebody gets traded to a team, they'll literally update the roster so the roster's up to date. So they already do that in general. So why do you need to make another whole $60 game to even really have that?
Money.
Only thing that's really going to be changing is the cover athlete, of course. And
Yeah,
that's
like-
really about to be it.
Well, like the thing I like about
Maybe a
NHL
little
is that
bit of
they're
a
always
graphics
adding new
improvement.
stuff to the game. Like they're adding new mechanics, and like with NFL, it's like you can't really add new mechanics because you're not playing yourself.
Because
You're
they're
literally
just their plays and all that stuff
Yeah.
that literally are already pre-scripted and all this
yeah.
fuck shit.
But like with NHL, you have so much more freedom because you're the player. Like you
Like
have
that's one thing about FIFA. Like FIFA kinda evolves. 2K is the same game every year nowadays. Like 2K is literally the same exact game. Like they're literally reskinning the same park
What?
now, and they're doing it literally exactly.
Beer back.
But they're literally just making money off these same million or 100K. I wasn't close enough. 100K some odd people that
Yeah.
are literally freaking paying, dumping money into these games to level up early and get certain packs like My Team creators, so they have like
Yeah.
a GOAT team and everything like that. And these packs cost money, and nobody's batting an eye at these microtransactions. But right there, that's pay to win. Because if I go against the
Yeah.
My Team stuff, like, and his team's of course better than mine because he's bought more packs than I have, and he's gotten
Yeah.
luckier and everything, then yeah, this dude's literally gonna have better shit than I am. It's just how it should really work. The dude's put more money into it, so he should have more better players than I do. So that's literally pay to win, but you don't see
Yeah.
anybody complaining about it. You only see people complaining about it when it's in first-person shooters, like Star Wars Battlefront 2, when we had that huge thing about loot boxes and everything, and it
Yeah.
about being pay to win and all that stuff. But it was so overestimated because they're like, oh, it'll take like, I got hit out of the fucking shot. It will take 40 hours to unlock Darth Vader. When no, in reality, no, it fucking won't. Because I unlocked Darth Vader in literally like maybe 10 hours of gameplay, 8 hours of gameplay. It wasn't hard at all.
yeah.
I fucking missed. Fuck!
Yeah, he fucked me out of the flip.
But yeah, it's just so interesting because literally
Yeah.
laws in some countries went into place to freaking deter loot boxes.
It's
and actually
gambling
ban
because of the
loot
fact
boxes.
that you're not guaranteed anything in return.
Yeah, see, but like again, I'm gonna go back to NHL with this because it's on the sports game topic. NHL, like they have a my hockey ultimate team, and what they do is like you can buy packs, sure, or you can just play the game and have
and
better odds.
earn the players and shit like that, right?
Yeah, so like what it is like you can like buy so there's bronze, gold, and silver packs depending on like what level you are.
Mm-hmm.
So you can buy a gold pack for $1 and have a 1% chance of getting a top tier player, or you can play for 10 hours, get that same gold pack, and have a 30% chance of getting a gold player, like getting a top tier player. Like that's like how they're doing it because like they give you an option to get in-game currency just by playing, and you have better odds of getting if you play. Like,
Yeah.
they base your odds on your play time. Like the more time you play, the better team you get. Like my 2016 team, like when they first introduced it, I had like 500 hours on my game, and I was getting gold like top tier players like duplicates, and I was just selling them. And I was breaking like that was the way that people were breaking the economy later in game. Like when the game was moving on to the next cycle, you were able to break the system just by playing the game. And like, and that's something I find is I'm okay with that. Like, like the game's like coming to the end of its cycle.
That's one thing with Forza, because Forza kind of does that kind of decently because they'll sit there and they will add cars that you can win in certain Forza events and everything like that, and you earn from playing the game, like getting by Forza points, participating in Forza events, etc., etc. And you sit there and get all these Forza things, and then the people will resell them in the auction house for a huge margin of profit.
Yeah.
And as you said, it kind of low-key breaks the economy, and there's just certain cars that are just so much better than other cars. And
But
I
at the
mean,
same
it's-
time,
it's gonna be
it makes
there,
the game
but-
more fun to play.
Exactly.
'Cause,
You
like,
can sit
it's
there and
attainable
you
to everybody.
can earn it. If you are there
Yeah.
and you are playing it, you can get it. No matter what. As long as you put in that time and you put in that effort, you are gonna get that car. And the way they do it is great. The whole thing, like Advanced Warfare, that did it really shitty.
Yeah.
Is Advanced Warfare literally had guns that in the loot
Broken.
boxes that you could only get out of the loot boxes that were overpowered as
Every single
hell.
time they dropped
Like,
a new
they
weapon,
would,
it was OP.
like they would literally add freaking a new gun, and I guess they would
And then drop
add
a variant
new gun
of
and then
it.
drop a
That's
variant
even
for
better.
it that would have like 3 to 4 extra freaking damage bars, or because you remember how they had the
Yeah.
bars in that freaking game. 3 or extra damage bars and literally just be 10 times freaking better than the original variant that you unlock for free.
Yeah.
And it was not balanced at all, because I would have to sit there and get super lucky out of a loot box that I would earn from playing the game,
Yeah.
or I would sit there and buy these advanced loot boxes that would even give me better chances of freaking getting them, and still probably not get them because duplicates were a thing, and you could sit there and wind up with huge amounts of freaking duplicates and never get what you actually wanted.
And also, like, if they would have had a better trade economy in that game, which because they didn't, like
Yeah,
you can buy
what
loot boxes through
trades?
but like your duplicates, they give you like 10 credits, even if it's like I think the max you could get was 100 credits for a legendary duplicate, or it's like 1,000. Like
Yeah.
the credit system was not good.
It
enough.
was absolutely horrible. But
But I would like what Black Ops 3 did with the credit system. They perfected the credit system in that game. Oh, you got a duplicate? Okay, we give enough to buy another box.
yep.
Which is like, okay, that actually makes it not feel like I'm wasting my time.
Exactly, because like if I'm sitting there and I'm like putting in the time and I'm earning all this different stuff, and then
Yeah.
I buy myself a box, I'm like, ooh, I really want this variant, I really want this thing. Because I remember literally them adding a new gun to the game, like in Black Ops 4, and I
Yeah.
remember literally people spending, like streamers and stuff, spending like $200 trying to freaking get the new gun in the game. Because they would just not get it. Because they would just get so unlucky with the duplicates, and then they wouldn't have a true enough like credits to buy another crate, etc.,
Yeah.
etc. But the way you can earn it in Modern Warfare is, as you said earlier, done pretty well. And you can earn the legit variant, and the variants now are literally
Yeah.
just cosmetics. It's no difference in the gun itself. Like, you will of course have different attachments for it and stuff like that, but again, you can earn those attachments from just
Yeah.
leveling up in the game itself.
Like really, the only thing that like the variants add is like the tracer rounds. That's the only thing that you're gonna get different, but the gun still works the same.
The gun still does the same exact damage. It's just
It's
going
just
to be a
gonna be
little more
cosmetic.
blinding to fire.
Yeah. Or you're gonna get a cool effect when you kill somebody. Like that's
Yep.
about it.
And that's the way, like, I feel like every game should really do it. Like, now Star Wars Battlefront 2, like, they took a huge hit in the beginning because of, like, that pay-to-win with the cards and everything.
Yeah.
But, like, the whole thing about that, yeah, I want to say sorry to him. But,
As long as somebody apologizes.
But the whole thing about that entire scenario is like the people that already had those cards and already spent that hundreds of dollars on loot boxes still had those overpowered things, and those other players literally had to dump hours and hours of work into these cards to level them up. And my god, I mean, it was a pain in the ass to level those cards.
Oh, yeah,
once they-
100%.
once they removed it, honestly.
Yeah. Because I have my Darth Vader card max, and it took me forever because like, yeah, I'd go into like the ground war pretty much, and like it's such a like it's gonna depend on your connection on if you're gonna get a hero or not. Because like if somebody has a better connection than you, they're gonna beat you in the load time, and then they're gonna hit the hero
Easy.
first.
Yeah. Because there's some moments where, like, I'd want to play a hero, and I would never, ever get that chance the entire game. Because there'd be, like, guys that were, like, overpowered as fuck with the heroes, and earn, like, 6,000 points with it, and the heroes only costed, like, 4,000 or 6,000, depending on which hero, which hero they were. But the whole thing about that was those guys would literally die and then already be spamming the hell out of the A button to get that shit back.
Like you'd have
Because
to
they
wait
would
for
already
them
be
to die.
ready for it.
So,
You'd
like,
literally have to wait, and sometimes that shit would literally be waiting the entire fucking game. And like, but the game in general, the new shit that they added and everything, it felt good, and how they had the new free maps and how they did everything. It was a good game after the fact, but the whole thing is they just took that huge hit and player loss in the beginning, which is why that game died.
Yeah.
In the way it is, well, I got just slammed with me. In the way that it is now. Like, don't get me wrong, it's still a great game, but I also feel like Galactic Conquest and stuff like that and the OG Star Wars Battlefront 2 was just a lovely game mode, and I'm really disappointed they didn't bring that back in some shape or form. I can't say that one.
He can though.
But it was just...
He just fucking nailed me.
Fuck. I tried to pinch it with it, but it just didn't work.
That's at an odd angle for them
it's
to hit.
just, it's so... I don't know.
I'm
Like,
back.
they could have done so much better with the remakes, but they could have also do so much better with a lot of different remakes. I don't have any boost.
Just flip. Oh, you fucking hit with the ass under your car.
Yep.
Wait, what are we talking about?
Battlefront 2, and microtransactions being overpowered in some games, etc., etc. Like Advanced Warfare, and how some games are pay to win, but sports games are pay to win, but no one complains about sports games being pay to win because of my teams and stuff like that. But it's super crazy just to think of, like, there's people out there that dump hundreds of dollars into games just hoping to get that one thing that they want. And if that might be a Michael Jordan 99 card, or a LeBron James 98 card, or freaking
100.
Patrick Mahomes 99 and Madden 17, or... Ooh, nice save. That's not my what-if save. But it doesn't work in some games. Like, Modern Warfare, as we said earlier, did microtransactions pretty decently.
I think they did it perfect.
Oh, yeah. Freaking...
That's over me.
Yeah, it's shit.
It's all cosmetic. There's nothing that gives you an advantage.
But exactly, like, maybe the one maybe difference, if you really want to argue it, will be buying, like, Mara, buying these player models and stuff like that in the Battle Pass and all that crap. Because maybe, if you want to argue it, smaller hitboxes are overpowered versus bigger hitboxes. Yes, it's a problem in games, but that's going to come when you just have different characters to choose from. But you sit there and then you only have male characters to choose from, you're going to have people complaining, oh, you don't have girls in the game, even though it's World War II or World War I when girls barely even served. Or some type of crap like that. Like,
Yeah.
you're going to get those haters no matter what. And it just doesn't work in some things. Like, some cases, I would rather stick to your realistic and historical realistic stuff, you know what I'm saying, than try to be PC and politically correct.
Yeah.
But it's just I didn't even see it, but every game right now is just totally, I don't know. Every game's trying to be PC, and it's just not in its best interest sometimes.
Can y'all explain to me why I just had to download Watch Dogs through the Epic Game Store and then download another 22 gigabytes on Uplay?
Downloading the game and then download the game contents.
But that's another thing. Like
Oh, me fuck. I didn't have enough ways to get to it.
cross-platform for another thing. Cross-platform is a wonderful thing, but I always have said this, and I'm gonna say it now. M&K should not be placed with people that don't get me wrong. There are people that are bad at M&K and all that stuff, but
Me.
like if you are against a good M&K player and you have a good controller player, realistically, that M&K player should win almost every single time.
Yes.
I want to say that M&K player should win every single time,
Yes.
hands fucking down.
Oh, he
Like-
hit that.
Well, that's whack. But that's the thing. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I've sat there, I've done some crazy shit on controller. Like, my snaps, if I'm like warmed up and I'm really trying my ass off,
Your ass.
are pretty damn good. Thank you, Gordon. But
Like, as you said that, he just fucking scored a half shot.
Well,
but the whole thing is, M&K, there are some times I will sit there and I will get dicked on in M&K because they will just have better recoil control than I will, and they will hit nothing but headshots versus me. I'm not gonna be perfect, but I'm gonna be pretty damn close, and it's just not gonna work as well as mouse and keyboard aim assist and shit is. Like, that's the thing. Everybody complains about aim assist and all that, but if you're against an M&K player, it doesn't really make that much of a difference. I mean, there's a difference,
don't.
but like, if
'Cause, I mean-
anything, sometimes they can fuck you over. Like, I've had aim assist snap on the people behind them. Like, I'm aiming at somebody, and then the aim assist tracks some dude that's like 50 feet behind the guy, and it's like, okay, why is my aim assist tracking this dude and just drag my freaking recoil the opposite way of what I need to control it as, and I can't do anything about it. I don't have any boost. Ah, I got it. But
Why am I going faster than the wall there?
who knows?
I was literally not even moving. I'm going faster than the wall.
But that's just one thing about like M&K, and you're gonna have those platform wars and everything like that. But those platform wars are just gonna be stupid because you're gonna be like, oh, PC's God, PC's that. Nobody will deny the PC is freaking the best thing out there. Like, I want find one person that says the Xbox is better than the PC. Like, try to find one fucking person. It's gonna be rare. Like, even the Xbox devs are gonna be like, the PC is gonna be better as long as you put more money into it.
Yeah.
Consoles just make 4K gaming and everything affordable, and just
Makes it easier
Yeah, it makes it accessible to everybody.
because you don't have to worry about your graphics.
Exactly. Like, just the game company needs to downgrade the game from PC to really make it work on console. And that, as we mentioned earlier, sits there and kind of ruins some games, what's the word I'm looking for? Potential. Yeah, it could ruin some games' potential, but the... Oh, fuck, that was a weird hit on that.
I was fast, but
But the whole thing is, the consoles obviously don't need the same, like, pedicuring and keeping up to date as PCs do. Obviously, they don't need as much money
Yeah.
and all of this different shit. And of course, you have, like, viruses, you gotta get VPNs. It's a lot easier to get hacks, etc., etc. You're gonna run into hackers a lot more often. But that's one
More
thing.
customizable.
Like, exactly. Like cross-platform, in my opinion, yes, should exist in games. I absolutely love being able to play with my friends on PlayStation and even on PC, but I feel like there should be lobbies that force controller and lobbies that force image check.
Well, they tried that on Modern Warfare, but people got around it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So they just
Yeah.
made it where keyboard and mouse players can play with controller players because people found a way to get into a controller lobby and just plug in their mouse and keyboard.
Yeah, that's literally it. Like, you literally got into a lobby with a controller connected, and then you go just switch over your input.
Settings and then
So there was no point in them even making it or trying to get around it. They just said, okay, well,
so be it.
we'll
Whatever.
just
yeah. Ah! Damn it! I was a little far out. Oh, nice.
There we
I
go.
tried to NATO on that one.
Yeah, I sent it right. I sent it right back to him. You said it there, but fuck this. He's gonna have a better shot than I am. I thought you stole that.
No, I'm trying to jump out of it so I didn't fucking save it. But
ooh,
that's one thing about like just cross-platform in general is like I absolutely love how PlayStation's actually finally opening up about it because Microsoft's always kind of been down about it, but Sony's always been kind of, I don't know, in their own little bubble.
Sony's been
Because,
Microsoft's wanted it.
Yeah, Microsoft wanted it because it's going to give them more profits because you're
Exactly.
buying more Microsoft PCs.
Yeah, exactly. And Sony obviously doesn't really freaking want that, but the whole thing is, it's either the future is now, old man, or you're gonna get stuck in behind and you're not gonna make the money that you really want to make for consoles and stuff like that.
Yep.
And I'm not gonna lie, in my opinion, PlayStation's overrated as fuck.
I hate the PlayStation's freaking menus music.
Like the idle music,
Pisses me off. I'm not gonna lie.
just the way it works in general. I will be 100% honest. Freaking original Xbox versus PlayStation 2. The PlayStation 2 was easily better. Hardware, games, just everything. I'm not gonna lie. Even the controllers were, in my opinion, a little bit better because the original Xbox controllers were astronomically huge. I remember them
they were
being
so fucking big.
massive bricks.
Oh.
But the PlayStation 2 was good at the time, but the 360 came out, and the PlayStation 3, right then and there, Sony overpriced the PlayStation 3 at $600. And the Xbox 360 outsold it crazily. And the Xbox 360 even had better hardware at the time, and it was for a cheaper price. Like, come on now.
Not close enough.
How much was the 360?
The
It was like
360
it
was
was
400, 500?
It was $499. And well, with the PlayStation being at $599.
Yep. But so it was an extra $100, and you were basically just buying it for the name brand. Like the 360 was a way better console. I mean, yes, it had its problems with the Xbox 360 Red Ring of Death.
What
It
you're
had
looking
its
at is
issues.
Blu-ray.
But yeah,
That's
that
the
was,
reason why the PS3 was more expensive.
but
It was because
Blu-ray-
they were releasing their new
Blu-ray
hardware.
wasn't even big back then, so no one
No,
even
it
like really wanted that.
Here's the
because
thing,
It
though.
everybody
was
was like,
big in the media industry. That's
what
why.
the hell?
Sony's a media company because like their production company.
You had
Yeah.
PlayStation that sold theirs about the same price as Blu-ray players when they were coming out. Just a little bit more. You were getting a whole gaming console, and you were getting the Blu-ray player. Xbox with their HD DVD did not get the same names that everybody else was, or well, that PlayStation was getting for the marketing of things,
because
as well as
right there,
they sold their hardware or their player.
PlayStation tried to be more of a entertainment device than
Yeah.
a gaming device.
Well, yeah, because it was labeled
the-
as an entertainment system. Like that's how they sold it. That's
Yeah.
how it was Sony marketed as
And-
it's Sony Entertainment.
The Xbox 360, on the other hand, said it was going to be gaming console. And people wanted gaming console. They didn't want an entertainment device.
360 is where they started marketing for entertainment purposes.
But
Xbox
not
One's where they truly did.
nearly. Yeah, that's what I said. Like Xbox One is when they really were pushing like, this is for your whole family. This is for the whole household. Like everybody, you can watch your TV on this device. You can hook your TV up through this. You can sit there. You can do everything through this.
You can watch
basically.
porn.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
they were trying to advertise everything. I remember back in the day that it didn't come to fruition, obviously, because we're still buying discs in today, and you still need the disc to play the games. But I remember them talking about literally making disc obsolete. Like once you installed the disc, you could just
You didn't
throw
need
the
it.
disc out, and you didn't need it at all.
So you're basically, but games are like, oh yeah, so you maybe pay like $70 for a disc, or I can just buy it online. Like that's where they were. So you can either
Yep.
buy the disc or like, but like.
Well, the reason why you still need the disc is so you can just go, hey buddy, I just bought this game, here you go.
Yeah,
the
and
license.
give it to
Yeah.
your friend and everything.
It's the license
And
of the game.
that's also why they took away game sharing. Like a lot of times, like game sharing is a lot. Like you can like set your home Xbox, but then they limited it. They had game sharing on the 360, but there wasn't a lot of like not a lot of people would buy it on the store because they didn't trust the way the game was going out. Like
Well, what was
microtransactions
it, like
back
Game
then.
3
share-
consoles you could have your
Game
licenses
sharing-
on or whatever?
No,
Yeah,
game
like-
sharing on the freaking 360 was like
fuck.
low key. You just sign into somebody else's account, go to their download history, and then just
Yeah.
freaking literally
Download the game.
download the game, and then boom, you have it on your Xbox. It wasn't connected to your account like it is in this game, like it is on this.
It was.
No, I
It was,
remember.
you just need to have the account
You
on
just-
your Xbox.
You just need to have it on your
The
Xbox.
account had to be signed in.
No, it didn't.
No,
No,
you
it
just need on
didn't.
your
I don't know
Xbox.
what the
We
fuck you're
had
talking
3
about.
Xbox
It did
360s
not.
in my house. Yes.
Dude, I literally freaking downloaded Terraria for my fucking friend, and I never had to sign into his account to play it. Never. I downloaded
But
it
that's the
once.
thing though, the
then
license of
I
the
played
game was on your console then.
I deleted
Yeah,
his account
you-
right afterwards.
It wasn't attached to the profile entirely, it's attached to the console.
It's attached to the console. That's what I'm saying. On this game, it's attached to the on Xbox One. It's attached to the profile.
Yes.
That's
But
what
that's
I
my
said.
point though,
That's
is
what
if
I
the
said.
licensing was not attached to the console of the game, you had to be signed in order to be able to then hop on as another player.
Yeah, but once you signed in, that's it. Like you don't need to.
Yeah.
Like you're on the game already. That's it. You don't need to be in there anymore. Like
I didn't
like,
say
like-
you had to stay signed in, I just said you had to sign in order to access the game.
Because like we did in my house, so like we bought one. Like my brother would buy the game online, and then it'd save my dad money because he didn't have to buy 2 copies of it.
Oh my bad. Shit.
Neither of you just fucking. Neither of you went.
Are we talking about the Xbox One or 360?
360.
I didn't know they. I didn't even know they. I didn't know they had game sharing 360.
Yeah, that's where it originated from. It came out like a year after its release. Because that's how they got it to push more push out more consoles. Because PlayStation didn't have that. You had to have the game. And that's why the 360 sold better than the PS3. It's again like the second market. Is because you were able to, buy a game and share it with your friends. So like you get your friend to buy the console and you just give them your game.
Yeah, exactly.
So like they're making more money on console sales, not opposed to game developer sales. And a lot of consoles came with games at the time. So
I had a little bit of
There were 77 million PS3s sold worldwide versus 76 for Xbox 360.
That's shocking, actually.
And same thing with Xbox One. Xbox One's like the third or fourth. Third.
Yeah, I know for a freaking fact the PlayStation 4 outsold. Because I was just gonna get to that.
Yeah.
I'll say
Freaking-
Switch and PS4 are higher than
Well, yeah,
Xbox One.
the Nintendo's always gonna sell highest.
Yeah.
The Nintendo's Nintendo. Like, it's literally caters to little kids, adults, everybody. But so in my opinion, the 360 was always way better than the PlayStation, hands fucking down. But definitely the Xbox One and the PS4. The PS4 was better. I'm not gonna lie. It was. Especially at release, it was way better. But the whole thing about that is, technically, when the Series X came out and the PlayStation Pro, freaking the Xbox had it all the way. They had better processing power, they just had better teraflops of power, they literally were just overall, in my opinion, even just looks better. Like, yes,
Didn't look like a bunch of
the
pancakes.
game had better, the game and PlayStation always had better exclusives with like Last of Us, Uncharted, because I'm not gonna lie, Halo was the strong suit. Gears of War was strong back in the day. But nowadays,
back in the day, it's still-
Gears
still sells well.
Gears still isn't that strong, and Halo still isn't as good, and it's lost a lot of fans because of this as well. And it's not as good as it used to be, which definitely shows in the Xbox sales and everything as well. And it just doesn't truly work. But like the Xbox Series X, okay, I'm not sorry. Hands down was better than the PlayStation Pro, at least in my opinion. And if you look at a spec sheet, it just was. Same thing with this Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5. Like, if you look at it on paper, the Xbox Series X has better stats. And yes, it has the same CPU, but it has a little more teraflops of power. You're gonna have a little more SSD space, but supposedly, the custom SSD on the PS5 is stronger and will have literally no load times and everything. But at the same time, Xbox has their own custom SSD. They haven't really released the specs and haven't truly tested it and everything, I guess, because they haven't really said anything crazy about it. Like, Sony's really bragging off their SSD card, and that's literally the only thing they're really bragging about with it. But Xbox is also trying to bring 4K gaming, or quote-unquote 4K, to everybody with this Series S, or whatever the hell it is.
X.
No, the Series S, the smaller, shittier one.
The Series S is going to be 1440p.
Yeah, I know, like I said, like
With
the
a
2K,
digital
the
4K.
2K, I know, like I said, it's not true 4K. I said quote unquote. If you heard me correctly, Dyer. I'm sorry.
Yeah, dire.
Bitch.
Oh, I'm not about to listen to your bunch of fucking bullshit and rant.
Well, mute me. Leave the party. There's no reason for you to be here. I mean, you're not playing games together. I don't know. You were quiet forever, and then you just dial in all of a sudden. When we start talking about console wars.
PC, Master Race. Don't at me.
No, 100%. I agree 100%. If I had more money, I would totally fucking get down on the fucking
See, PC's just good all around. PlayStation's better for exclusives, and Xbox is better for power.
Yeah.
That's just how it's always gonna
About
be.
it, yeah.
Xbox is not into the AAA kind of big hitter games. They're trying to help indie developers and the no-name developers.
Microsoft's in it just for like the overall, because Microsoft's making money either fucking way. Like,
Oh,
if
yeah.
you're playing fucking PC, they're making your fucking money, because 90% of the fucking time you're not playing on a fucking Mac OS or a Chromebook or something. You're usually playing on Windows.
And me personally, I think Sony and Microsoft are together. helping each other.
Yeah, like, I mean, they honestly should. I mean, they're competitors in business because of capitalistic society.
No, not per Microsoft.
As much as we're in. Nice one.
Thank you.
What I'm saying is, Microsoft and Sony, they both benefit from console wars.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're always going to have that side.
The more it's talked about, the more people are interested in it. The more,
Yeah.
you know.
The thing is,
Any publicity is good publicity.
you're always going to have your fanboys. They're always going to choose their sides.
Uh-huh.
Microsoft does not view PlayStation's competition anymore, that because the future is cloud gaming and they're going after Amazon before they start.
Yep.
They've already started cloud gaming. That actually started like a week or two ago. And they already have Destiny 2 announced for Xbox.
Series X.
So you're literally going to be able to play.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying the cloud gaming. You can literally take your game anywhere you want on your phone, on your tablet.
Oh yeah, xCloud. Yeah. Hopefully that comes to Apple. So I want to freaking play it so bad.
I
You
don't
want-
think Apple's gonna
No,
let it.
they have a they changed some of their policies and they're actually testing it on Apple devices now. Only 10,000 people were invited to it. Because of what happened with Fortnite on Apple, because Fortnite's no longer on Apple.
Yeah, I got banned.
Yeah, unless you have it downloaded right now. But after that happened, I think Apple was like, okay, maybe we should kind of tone it down just a tad bit. So
Because
they're
they were
actually,
making a lot of money off Fortnite because
Oh, yeah.
they were profiting off the microtransactions.
they're getting 30% of everything
Yeah.
sold.
Not good.
And Fortnite was like, fuck that.
Yeah, like 30 cents on the dollar. Like,
Yeah.
Don't move, don't
Exactly.
move, don't move, don't move. No, no, no. Why are you startled?
yeah, like
So-
that's on like a 20. Like there's some skins in there that's $20.
right.
That's like $6 for Apple off a $20 purchase.
And I think that Apple and Microsoft are going to make a deal,
Here,
per se.
wait on searching real quick.
And I think they'll, give Apple a certain amount to make it, more appealing to them.
Mhm.
But they are testing xCloud on Apple devices,
Yeah.
Kill
Which
over.
I'm-
I need you to kill over.
which I'm praying that it comes. Because, dude, I want to play on my phone so bad. I just want to lay in bed and play Destiny or whatever.
Well, that's my point. Is I could literally currently, if I took a controller with me to work, play a couple matches of Gears 5 on my phone.
Exactly. And they had this thing called One Cloud or something like that I bought, but you have to have a console connected to it,
Hmm.
and it's not as good.
So, basically, the xCloud shit is fucking awesome because apparently they're even trying to get the xCloud stuff, from what I heard, even onto Nintendo Switch and stuff like that.
Seriously?
From what I heard, they want to try to get it in like handheld gaming devices and shit, and they're trying to strike a deal with Nintendo to try to like really truly cross-platform this stuff.
They could
And-
do it.
It would be actually amazing, and I mean maybe even one day if they could even strike a deal with Sony and there won't be a thing such as exclusives. Like we could play Xbox games on our PlayStation through the xCloud, and maybe, just maybe, if Sony's down with it, they could upload their shit to the xCloud, and
They won't.
They probably won't. They never
They're
will.
bitches.
Well, do you see what you see what they did now? What they're doing now is they straight up said they're not gonna put any of the PlayStation exclusive games on PlayStation Plus for free.
They're idiots.
And the reason because of this is they're like, because they have like that, it's not PlayStation Plus for free. It's the you know how like they have like the thing that kind of is trying to compete with Game Pass now. I forget what it's called. But they're not going to put any of the exclusives on it because they say it's a loss of money. They're like, we need that $100 or $70 now. From what I've heard, they actually raised the prices. Sony confirmed like some of their games are going to be $70
Uh huh.
on their
Demon
games.
Souls is $70.
And it's. I mean, I understand. I guess more. I guess they're trying to get more into creamy bussy holes.
Oh god.
And then robust seat sniffers. That's just perfect. But
Hello, Renee.
it's just interesting because they're like, oh, we can't make the money because these games cost hundreds of millions of dollars to make, so we're gonna need to have every bit of we're supposed to like make back every bit of profit that we need. And it's like, you don't understand how simple economics can really work. Because I'm like, if you get, let's say, I don't know, 1,000 people to buy a game for $60, that's $60,000. But that is a one-time purchase. And there's like a 50-50 chance, I don't know what the percentage exactly is, of people actually buying DLC and actually continuing to play the game, etc., etc. You get what I'm saying? That are actually going to continue putting money into the game. But if you sit there and let's say you have freaking 6,000 people or 1,000 people sitting there paying just $15 a month for 12 months, you're gonna be making more money in the long run doing that than you really ever will just from the freaking initial purchase of the game itself, the little amount. You understand?
Well, see,
Like-
as well as if like you have membership reward
That's-
type things like
yeah.
Xbox Game Pass.
That's one thing why Netflix is so successful and is one of the richest companies right now, is because they literally have millions of subscribers that pay anywhere from
Netflix
like
are-
$10
they're
a
a bunch of
month to like $16 a month. But their exclusives and everything are kind of lacking nowadays, honestly.
I think they got a couple decent ones, but
I mean,
like
The
they
shit-
got
the
decent-
sh- the-
have you seen Cuties?
Yeah.
that-
shut the fuck up about TVs, please.
Thanks for watching, I guess. I'll see you guys in the next one.
Roll.
See you guys
I
later.
can't-